It's time to sit back, relax, and listen to Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life. Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life will inspire, motivate, and empower you. Live your best life now. Listen, learn, think, and decide. Change your attitude, change your life. And now, here's your host, Joan Herman.
Welcome to Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life. I'm Joan Herman. Thanks for tuning in. Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life brings you interviews with some of the most inspirational and influential people in the world. It's our goal to educate and empower you so you can live your best life now. Thank you for taking time for yourself, and thank you for letting us be a part of your life. We have another great show for you today. Everyone wants someone to love and spend time with, and searching for an ideal partner is a natural human tendency. Just about everyone dates at some point, yet few really understand what they're doing or how to get the best results. Today's guest, Dr. Stan Tatkin, author of Wired for Dating, offers powerful tips to help you find a compatible mate and go on to create a loving relationship. Dr. Tatkin is a clinician, researcher, teacher, and developer of a psychobiological approach to couple therapy. His other books include Wired for Love and Your Brain on Love. Welcome, Dr. Tatkin. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So, Doctor, just about everyone wants to find love, but for many, it's difficult to do. Sometimes it even seems impossible. So what is the main problem that people who are dating experience?
Well, I think mostly it's fatigue, not wanting to date, feeling very uncomfortable, feeling dispirited. But I think there are most people that would dread dating, especially people who are a little bit older and having to return to the dating scene. It seems, that there are many ways to find people now, online, of course, but it isn't any easier, I think. I think in some ways it's a little bit harder because people are not introducing each other as the way they used to do, where you'd meet people at work, you'd meet people at a party, people down the street. We tended to meet those who lived closest to us. Now we could meet somebody who's across the country or even in another country altogether and then decide whether we're going to get together and meet and so on. So it's a different world in dating for sure.
Well, and taking it a step further about this different world, I am divorced, and so I'm back in that, I hate to say older age person, but doing it again. I mean, the thought of doing it again after 20 some odd years of marriage, it's scary, and it is a different world. So what is the secret to building a successful relationship, especially for those of us that have gone through a failed one?
I think rather than look for the person first, think about what the relationship should be. We really must start to rearrange our thinking now when it comes to pair bonding. And the old way, which is to, and this is nothing wrong with this, to be, of course, you're going to be attracted to somebody, you're going to be drawn to them. This is not about making lists and checking them to make sure that everybody fits the list, but organize in one's mind how the relationship should be. And in this sense, think of it as a two-person system. Good for me, good for that person. In other words, should we put the relationship first? Is that the relationship I want? Should it be a relationship where we tell each other everything, where we have each other's backs, where we protect each other in public and private, we're the go-to people? I like to think of couples as being together based on a mutual agreement and a basic interdependency to survive, right? We are in the foxhole together. We require that we are experts on each other so that as we move through time together, we're in a system that we can absolutely trust. So envision the kind of relationship it should be. If that person does not see it the way you do, if there are deal breakers there in terms of lifestyle, in terms of what you believe in and where you want to point to the future, then pass that relationship and move on to the next. But think about the relationship.
And that's, I think, really important because when we're young and we meet someone and we have that romantic notion that this is it and everything will just occur naturally, a true relationship just happens. But there's a lot of work that needs to go into it and a lot of thought.
Work and thought, although in the beginning everything is work, right? Because you don't know each other. It takes a good year to really get to know somebody well enough to know whether they're someone you want to commit to. But a good relationship, one that we call secure functioning, one that is fair and just and sensitive, that's based on mutuality, should not be so hard. The whole purpose of having these kind of relationships is to make life easier, not harder, so that we take things off the table that would scare us, that would make us concerned, that would use resources such as, will the relationship exist tomorrow, or am I the most important? Is the relationship the most important thing? Things like this people agree on because it makes life easier, and then they stick to these agreements because they're principles. They're things that we believe in that allow us to be fully resourced and to do things we ordinarily wouldn't do. In other words, to be together as a team properly, working together like cop car partners, means to make life easier so we can succeed at what we want to succeed in. It's not about hard. It's about making agreements and being there devoted to our principles.
Doctor, you believe that it's not necessary for us to search for a soulmate, and yet that's what most people do. We search for that elusive soulmate. So why do you believe this is a bad practice?
Well, you said it yourself, Joni. You said elusive. I mean, if it's so elusive, that's a depressing thought. Not only am I going to have to go out and date a lot and be with people that I don't really want to spend time with, but that elusive person may never even come into my field. It isn't true. We only pair bond by recognition. We don't pair bond with strangers. So anybody we actually will continue with for a long period is someone we recognize, somebody who's familiar. And that means they have the potential for us to feel like they're our soulmate. But there are many people around that we will recognize that we could be in relationship with. There is no perfect, right? There's just good enough. And so this idea of soulmate, if it's taken wrongly, can be a very depressing idea. I don't think there really is such a thing. It's a feeling. It's something when we're with someone, we start to say, boy, Joan, you are my soulmate. But if I try to go and look for someone who's a soulmate but not someone named Joan, boy, am I going to have a hard time.
Doctor, why do so many people continuously pick the wrong person?
They're not actually picking the wrong person. This is an interesting thing. Because of what I said, that we pick by recognition, we pick correctly. Nature doesn't care whether we have a long-term relationship. It just cares about procreation. And so we do pick right people, but it feels wrong because we still don't know how to handle that feeling or that experience that comes with that person. So let's say I keep picking alcoholics. Well, alcoholism is a feature of something, but I recognize this person. I still don't know how to handle them, or an angry person, or a person who isn't telling the truth. This is a familiar thing to me, but I still don't know how to deal with that person. And I think that's the bigger problem. Our picker is correct initially, but then we need our social network to tell us whether we are with someone who fits into our culture or doesn't. We want our friends and family, our social network, to sniff this person out and to sniff us out because we're on drugs in the beginning, right? We're infatuated, yeah.
So how do we break that pattern of familiarity?
We can't. If you pick somebody that's too much of a stranger, there's another danger of feeling homesick, of feeling too far away. This person's too far away of what I know and what I'm comfortable with. So there's the close but not too close, familiar but not too familial, and stranger but not too stranger-ish. And I think as we get older, we expand a little bit more into the world of strangeness. In the beginning, we really kind of stick it close to home.
The book is Wired for Dating, How Understanding Neurobiology and Attachment Style Can Help You Find Your Ideal Mate. If you would like to get more information about the book or Dr. Tatkin and his work, you can visit stantatkin.com. Dr. Tatkin, in our final moments, why do you say that dating is forever?
Because we have to be girlfriend and boyfriend. That's the juice. That is what drives everything. Husband and wife, nice. That's very nice. But it implies certain other roles. And mother and father definitely implies different roles. And not as sexy. I think the girlfriend and boyfriend have to always exist. And that means that we see each other as girlfriend and boyfriend. We still behave that way. And we still do things to create that exciting, dopamine-driven love that is addictive, We know how to do that. We know the skills in which to enrich ourselves with that, and we maintain that, because without it, then we begin to look for others, or we begin to feel very lonely. So always keep the girlfriend and boyfriend, or the girlfriend, for that matter, boyfriend, depending on who you're with. But that's the message.
Doctor, thank you so much for being here with us today and for providing information to help us find and build a lasting relationship. As I said, everyone's searching for love, and by practicing some of these tips, hopefully we can find it.
And good luck to you, Joan, in your search as well.
Thank you, Dr. Tatkin. We'll be right back. Thank you for joining us. I hope you found the show informative. At Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life, we believe that knowledge is power. Take what you've learned, apply it, and live your best life now. Remember that the information provided are the opinions of our guests and should never replace the advice of a professional who knows your personal situation. If you'd like more information, visit our website, CYACYL.com. While on the site, listen to past shows on demand, read our digital magazine, take part in the book club, check out our team, and be sure to follow the show on social media. Until next time, this is Joan Herman. Thanks for tuning in.